Hey there, everyone, and a very happy Friday to you. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on UpNorthLive Unscripted at 6:30. And what a week it has been weather-wise. We have seen a whole lot of snow. Today was a little more calm, definitely cold out there. But Trevor, what can we expect this weekend?
This weekend's going to be quite the wild ride. We're still going to have some snow around for at least the first half of the weekend. But actually, it's going to be along a warm front, so we're going to warm up. And it's like we're going to get snow, very wet, just crappy snow, dense, not good snow as we warm up. And then on the back end of that, we'll actually transition over to some light rain. Yeah, we got rain in the forecast, not only on Saturday, but also to start the week on Monday as well. But yeah, very, very bizarre week. Today was not that bad in comparison to what we've seen in the last 7 to 8 days. But that is not the last time we will see lake effect snow. As a matter of fact, we have even more of that in the forecast next week as well. So I'll cover that and let you know what to expect in just a few minutes.
All right. Thanks so much, Trevor. And of course, it is the holiday season, and the Toys for Tots campaign of Northwest Michigan is in full swing. Our chief meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix, has been at a big Toys for Tots event down in Meyer in Traverse City. He joins us live now. And Joe, how's it going out there tonight?
Things here have been going fantastic. In fact, we were just talking off camera. I'll talk to Mike here in a moment, but we were talking about how great the turnout has been for Toys for Tots so far today. It's been a busy day. This is our good friend Mike Kent with Northwestern Michigan Toys for Tots. Mike has been up. I saw you on our news at 5:30 this morning.
Madison this morning.
How's it going for you today, personally?
It's been a fantastic day.
Yeah.
This is one of our bigger days, and this really is one of the best days. I mean, we start off with the Shop with the Heroes. So we have these elementary school kids that use their toy expertise and go out with police, fire, Marines, and veterans and use their expertise to use the cash donations that have come into Toys for Tots. And then they can buy specifically for the needs of our agencies. And we deal with more than a dozen different agencies in our 5-county area.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that that's just our 5-county area. Throughout your coverage area, there are Toys for Tots all over Sheboygan and Charlevoix and Gaylord and Grayling. So there are lots of opportunities, both for people who want to make toy donations or financial donations, and also those who need help in those areas.
Well, you know what I want to ask you, Mike? I want to go back a little bit because we have a little more time. It's an unscripted show here on ABC. You know, Toys for Tots started, 77 years ago? Is that right? Just a brief little history of Toys for Tots and you know, how it helps people and how it's kind of evolved.
It's a Marine Corps run program, and it started really with a bunch of Marines that started fixing up old toys to give to kids in need. And it's since it has evolved. It is now they distribute millions of toys. We have 800 programs in all 50 states. And again, Marine Corps based, and the whole goal is to make sure that every child throughout the country has the opportunity to have a great Christmas.
Yes.
And so that's what, so you will find over 100 drop boxes just in our 5-county area. We know that we are going to need to distribute 25,000 toys that will go out to about 5,000 kids, again, just in our 5-county area. The need this year that we're hearing from agencies, and we have more than a dozen agencies we work with, is that we expect the need to be up a little bit. Right now, the toy donations, and you'll see that, our two men in the truck.
Let's walk over. Come on over.
Our 2 men in the truck is pretty well filled, and we need it. We need all the toys that we can get. And 2 men in the truck has been invaluable throughout all of this. And you can see it's pretty dark in there. I don't know if you can see it,
but all that, those are all bags of toys, Mike, that just today that you've gotten, and they're filling this massive moving truck. And so what'll happen to these toys now tomorrow?
So actually Sunday we will sort the toys. They all have to be counted. First of all, the Marines need to know how many toys we collect. They will be counted. They will be sorted into different age groups and different types of toys, books and that type of thing, Barbies, and then they will be distributed to our different agencies. And those agencies all do their programs differently, and on how they distribute the toys. They need time to qualify the people that receive the toys, and also to make sure that they have time to get those toys to the families in time for Christmas. So right now is a great time.
Right now, we got people dropping toys
We
off
do,
right now.
we do.
So this is what it's been like much of the day today. Hasn't it been like this? Where people are coming in, dropping toys off. And this is the beauty of this, though, Mike, that people come on their own accord and are able to drop toys off. So, Mike, let's go over here. Brad, you've been loading up this truck. Just real quick, you're with two men in a truck in Traverse City.
Yep.
I also know you personally. You've been, yes, but how's it been? I mean, you've been loading up this truck. How's it been so far today for you guys?
It's been good. It's been really good. Real busy. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff, very generous, and, it's been a great day.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you'll take these toys now to the drop-off spot where Mike was mentioning then, right?
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Perfect. And I want to introduce a volunteer. We've got so much behind. It's nice to go behind the scenes tonight, isn't it?
It is.
So explain this.
This is Olivia Kroll. Olivia has been a volunteer for us. How many years have you been involved?
I have no clue.
A lot of years.
Yeah.
And that's the amazing thing. We see passion that people bring to this because they want to make sure that every child has a Christmas. Olivia, why do you get involved in this?
I think the best part of it is just seeing kids happy and everyone getting a good Christmas and spending time with their family and getting presents and all the good stuff.
I couldn't have said better myself. I mean, what a good reason.
And Olivia has inside connection with elves from the North Pole too.
Oh.
So yeah, that also helps.
I did not know that, but that's fantastic. But even now, this is what some folks just dropped off. There's more toys coming in here. If you want to go up and take a look.
And that's one person, is that right? Coming from one car.
Yeah.
It has been dropped off.
That is fantastic.
And really, Joe, the generosity that we see over and over again. This is my 28th year of doing this campaign. Every year we have gone to the community. This kind of generosity is there all the time. Quite frankly, we have to be careful. We can't cry poor, because if we cry poor, we get more donations that we can use at the expense of other nonprofits.
Sure, absolutely.
So we got to be really cautious, because it is such a generous community, and it is one that people take to heart. People like Olivia, that they put their passion into it, and year after year after year they come back. And earlier we talked to other volunteers that are doing the same thing. We have people that drop off just a few bucks. Quite frankly, we had a donation of thousands of dollars that came in yesterday from an individual who wants to be anonymous. And that's the kind of generosity we see. And the beauty of cash donations, which, by the way, if somebody wants to make a cash donation, they go to toysfortots.org. This drop-down menu takes you to Michigan or whatever county you're in, and that money stays in those counties. The beauty of that is, because we work with a dozen agencies, or more than a dozen agencies, they can use that money to buy what they need. And, some deal with the infants, some deal with more teens, and they have different needs. So, every toy that we receive is valued. Every toy that we receive, we find a responsible place for it. Every dollar that we get is carefully monitored. And the Marine Corps makes sure that it's carefully monitored and carefully spent.
Absolutely.
And that's we are good stewards of the public trust, and people need to know that.
And one more thing too, just before we wrap things up here, Mike, going forward, because you're kind of halfway through this process right now, and we kind of touched on it, but around all of Northern Michigan, what can people do now if somebody's watched says, I want to pick up a toy, where do I go?
Well, you see drop-off locations throughout the area. Like I say, we have over 100 just in our area. The easiest thing to do is go online and you can make a cash donation. And also, let's not forget the hand that gives out. Make sure December 24th is not the time to seek for help.
Good point.
Now is the time. If you need help, we want to make sure that your child has a Christmas.
And let me ask you on that point, Mike. We talk about people bringing in and coming in to volunteer and bring toys, but if you're a family that maybe you feel you're in need, how can they reach out if they want to get in touch with Toys for Tots?
Again, toysfortots.org, and whatever county you're in, because every county has a different program. Every county deals with distribution in a different way. Quite frankly, it's getting late for some of our agencies.
Okay.
And so some go longer than others, some go earlier than others. So now is the time, do it as quickly as possible. And the toysfortots.org is the best portal to find out where to go. And not just in our 5-county area, but throughout your coverage area.
Well, Mike, first off, thanks for doing an interview at 5:30 this morning with us, and at 7 at 6:30 tonight. And also, thanks for all that you do, Mike. I've known you for a long time, over 20 years, and you're so passionate about it, Mike. And I just want to say thanks for doing what you do too.
Well, and let me just add, this is not Mike's campaign. This is not my wife's campaign. Sure. This really, truly is a community campaign.
Yes.
The only thing that we can distribute, that we can give out through our agencies, is what the community gives us. Nothing more. Perfect. And this is a very generous community.
Well said, Mike, and thanks for the time and for the interview, and for all the people that have brought toys and continue to help out Toys for Tots as well. We'll send it back to Maya in the studio, but for now, live in Traverse City, Joe Charlevoix, UpNorthLive News.
Thank you so much, Joe and Mike, for that wonderful report. We touched base with them in our 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock newscast, but we get a small window of time for those. So it was really nice to go into a little more depth about what exactly Toys for Tots is, the history of it, how much they've grown, and the need in the community, and just such a wonderful organization. At the beginning of that report, we heard Mike Kent talk about Shop with the Heroes, and we were there with them this morning. So here is video from that at Meyer. So it was dozens of elementary school students. They were with firefighters, Marines, Coast Guard, police officers, veterans, and the kids, of course, helped them kind of pick out what toys to buy. Kids have a really great sense of taste when it comes to toys. And of course, it's a really just great way to connect kids with local heroes in the community, and definitely helps, like I said, having a good eye for toys. So a really cool event that happens, part of Toys for Tots as well. That's an event that happens every year. So we do have one more. Oh, let's turn things over to our question of the day before I forget. And it's related to shopping for the holidays. So what is your holiday budget for family gifts? You can scan the QR code on your screen right now to vote. As of right now, you can see the live results on our screen. So it looks like 32% of people say more than $500. 30% say up to 100, 23% say 100 to 300, and 14% 300 to 500. So we will continue to keep an eye on our live results for this question of the day, and we'll take another look at that at the end of our show. But one more local story that I want to share with you tonight before we take our first break. So not related to Christmas, but this is up in Boyne City. So some residents are trying to save the Boyne Theater. It's a historic venue that lasted more than 20 years. Well, I should say hold on. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. I'm reading a script. I'm going scripted right now. So they had movies about 20 years ago, but it's now sitting vacant. So they're asking the city commission to finally resolve the issue. So here is UpNorthLive's Daniel Zivian with that full story.
Downtown is the center of your community. And when your downtown thrives and does well, your whole community benefits.
But downtown Boyne City has a noticeable gap: the Boyne Theater. Lifelong resident Tony Williams co-owns an art gallery across the street. He has a row of seats from the theater where he worked as a projectionist.
We had two big projectors. It was old school. It was the round dots up in the corner when you're watching the movie and throwing the switches.
The Boyne was built in 1903 as an opera house and showed movies until the early 2000s. Recently a restaurant, the city bought it in 2020, and it has sat empty ever since.
It's a different world now. In those days, you would go there and see friends, gather, you get your milk duds and go. It was a great time, especially for young people. And I think there's a shortage of quality things for young people to do.
A petition is circulating in stores and online calling for action from the city. While operating a movie theater is an uphill battle, even in metros, the organizers say they want the Boyne to be sustainable.
So it'll show Saturday matinees, it'll be a comedy club, it'll be civic theater, a multi-purpose functional facility with concerts and entertainment across the spectrum. We've had input from folks that live as far away as Traverse City, Harbor Springs, Sheboygan, saying we would come and attend events in a facility of that nature. There are some naysayers that say it can't be done. We say give us the opportunity to try. And if we can't do it, then we go to plan B.
If it belongs to our community, it can evolve with us.
In Boyne City, Daniel Zivian, Up North Live News.
Let's take a quick break, but meteorologist Trevor Robideau will have much more on your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.
Well, sounds like things might be a little messy out there this weekend. Meteorologist Trevor Robideau kind of teased what we can expect at the beginning of the show. But Trevor, want to go into a little more detail of what the weekend looks like?
Absolutely. After all, weather is like my favorite thing, which is why I do this job. So, of course, we can talk about that. It's not going to be horrendous for everybody, but some people will definitely be driving through some rather heinous, maybe that's not the right word.
Not ideal.
Not ideal conditions tomorrow. Like, it was pretty dry today for the most part. We did still have some snow around, of course, but it wasn't that bad. But it's going to get worse tomorrow for some people, especially the further north you go. So we'll start with that. Today was rather cool, and here's just how cool it was. The heat index, or rather the wind chill. So this is not the real temperature. This is the feels-like temperature when you add in the wind. Most areas are in the teens, and if we go back a couple hours, they were in the single digits for some people with the higher winds that are coming down tonight. And for the most part, they will stay that way until they go back up again tomorrow. So we have another system coming, a clipper out of Canada, and as we know, that usually brings in snow and lake effect snow beyond that, but it also usually brings in very hefty winds as well. That's going to be the case tomorrow again as well. So the wind gusts in the afternoon and evening, especially in the evening beyond like 5 o'clock, we're looking at wind gusts in some areas up into the 40s, especially near Gaylord and around that region. Mansalona could see very high wind gusts, but everybody as a whole, we're looking at 30 or higher in the northern lower, a little bit less in the eastern upper, but it's still in the 20s. So rather breezy day tomorrow. That's going to be accompanied by some more snow and then rain, if you could believe that. So here's a look at our radar. We do have some very light showers still hanging on, but for the most part, isolated in nature, and they will stay that way for the remainder of tonight. The story is going to be tomorrow when we have that clipper coming through. In the morning, we'll have some snow around, but it won't be too bad. This will come in overnight, right around sunrise. And then throughout the day, some higher snow amounts and snowpacks will start to build, especially up north, accompanied by, again, that very hefty wind. This is all warm front, by the way. And so we're going to have that very hefty southwest wind gusts with some heavier snow amounts across the bridge into the eastern upper. And then the back end of this, we're actually going to see a little bit of rain. And I kind of laugh thinking about that because I thought we were going to transition over into fully snow for the remainder of the season. Instead, we still got rain. So we're going to have to deal with that. A little mix tomorrow as well, dry on Sunday. There's our higher amounts. Not all of this is going to stick because it's going to be very, very wet snow, very packy. Again, pretty much all temperatures are going to be above freezing tomorrow. But what we're looking at is some higher amounts, 3 to 6 inches in the eastern upper, generally speaking, in 1 to 3 or less in the northern lower. So if you're close to the bridge or across that, expect, especially in the afternoon, some pretty risky traveling conditions. Tonight, 13 to 20, isolated snow showers, not much. Most people won't see anything. And then tomorrow we get that system coming through 35. Again, above freezing tomorrow, so that could cause some melting. But again, we have the rain as well with that. Rain through the early week on Monday and then snow again midweek.
All right. Thank you so much, Trevor, for that. We are going to take another quick break, but stay with us. Sports is next. You're watching Up North Live Unscripted at 6:30. The Alpena Wildcats have re-entered the conversation as one of the best high school hockey teams in all of northern Michigan. The team went undefeated in the Big North Conference 2 seasons ago. They have won 3 state regional titles with one more goal still standing in front of them. So head coach and athletic director Ben Henry sits down with sports director Harrison Beebe to talk about this in our latest Jimmy John Sports Corner.
The following segment is sponsored by Jimmy John's of Traverse City.
You've kind of made a dent in that Traverse City domination for the BNC. So how does that make you feel now that you're pretty far away from everybody, but you're still letting everybody know, hey, we're the team to beat in hockey?
Yeah, no, we have some obviously great success the last couple of years, and we've just kind of been building off that. It's hard to compete against the bigger schools, but it's also fun in my opinion. So there's nothing that says we can't compete. I guess got to outwork them and continue to get better and better each day, and that's just kind of been our motto. And it's been nice having that kind of rivalry relit here, I guess, and have us in the conversation for the Big North every year, and not just like, oh, it's just Alpena. They'll be middle of the pack. So it's kind of nice to be at the top of the pack now.
To know you guys are ranked top 10 as well, no matter how the season turns out, that's got to be nice to know the state recognizes you as a dominant program too.
Yeah, no, for sure. And part of when I came in, we weren't kind of getting that recognition, I guess. At least I didn't think we were. But, since I've been here, we've been entering more showcases. I've been, blasting out emails and text messages and videos of our players and showing the kind of talent we have here. And then also really helps with our fans too. Our rink's pretty loud on game night, and it's our home games are always pretty rocking. So it draws, a bigger crowd for outside sources to come up here and watch. So it's been nice to see that. Like, the advertisement, I guess, for Alpena hockey is not just come on and watch a bunch of high school kids. Come on and watch, some of the best high school kids.
And do you guys talk about, the potential of the final or Frozen Four?
We always set our goals at the beginning of the year, but we want to be, obviously we want to try to take care of the Big North. That's obviously, on our first goal list. And then the second goal list is, win our region again. And the main goal is to get over that quarterfinal hump. Obviously we get over that, we go to the Final Four. Right now we're on a day-by-day, game-by-game basis. This is definitely the most diverse team I've had. I think we have like 16 goal scorers this year, which is the first time coaching this early in the season that we have that many different, people on the score sheet, which is nice.
Salon services are furnished by Epiphany Advanced Academy in East Acme.
Let's take one more look. Take one more look at our question of the day. What is your holiday budget for family gifts? You can see all the results on your screen right now. I want to read one comment on our Facebook page from Mike. He said, we buy gifts for the grandkids and that's it. Everyone else is grown up enough to take care of their own needs and zero credit card debt that way. Plus, the best gift is to be in the company of friends and family. Well said, Mike. I love that. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight on Up North Live Unscripted. We hope to see you back here tonight at 11 o'clock. Take care, everyone.